All right, so for the Magic 8 Ball, let's look at how we might program the Magic 8 Ball. You ask a question and you get an answer. That's how the 8 Ball works. But for the program, we have it give you a greeting and then you ask a question and receive an answer. So let's break it down. We know that the program needs a random element. So let's start with that. Well, actually, let's start with the name of the program, Magic 8. Magic 8 Ball. And then we will put in our name, make W 2021, and let's have some light use of comments. This is the import starter pack. This is where I put all of the things that I will be importing. There's just one item, but I like to create different sections of code by using the comments so that it's even more visible. So we will import random. And this means, hey, that random library, we want to use all the stuff that's in there. So there we go, import random. Now the program asks us to have 3 welcome messages and 4 responses. So I'm going to create my variable starter pack. And once again, like I said in the other homework review, is that there is more than one way to solve these problems. And the way I'm showing you is just a way. Okay? The way that I'm showing you will demonstrate how to use the if and else statements in the program. Some people use random.choice, which is fine, but I went with the if, elif, and else route. I also decided to go the route of storing the responses in variables. So I'm going to create a variable called welcome0, and that's going to be, what question do you ask of me? And then we will have welcome1, which is, what is it that you want now? And I'm spelling things wrong here. Here we go. Welcome. Here we go. There we go. Welcome to will equal, what is this supposed to be? What do you need to know? Okay, so those are our welcome messages. Then we had the responses. So we're just setting up shop here, doing the things that are kind of easy to knock out. I think everyone should have variables, like declaring variables. That should be something that you are able to do. So response 1, as I see it, yes. Let's get response 2. Well, it is technically response 2. And response 0 is response 1 because 0 is first and 1 is second. Computer science making things a little confusing. The next one is most likely not. Then the next response is, what was that supposed to be? Better not tell you now. And the last response is reply hazy. Try again later. Okay, and that looks like we have all of the variables that we need, all of the messages, the 3 welcome messages and the 4 responses. So what we want the program to do is greet people with one of the welcome messages, and then we want it to wait for input. We don't actually have to store what the person types because we are not using what they say to determine what message they will get in response. So we're just being nice and letting them type stuff into the computer so it has some sort of interactivity to it. If it wasn't interactive, it wouldn't be fun. And then we will give an answer or give a response. Maybe I should use the same wording that I use on lines 12 through 14. So let's say give a response. And then we can change line 16. Instead of saying greet people, I will say welcome people. And I'll make this capital because consistency. And then at the end, we'll just say, you know, bye. So how do we welcome folks? Well, even before we do that, there's one other thing we need to do. We need our random numbers. So we need to generate 2 random numbers because we need something that will represent the welcome messages, and we need another variable to represent the response messages. So let's use a coin. So we will make a variable called coin. So coin1, and we will set it to random.randint. And randint takes 2 arguments, and it that's the endpoints, like the help item says, your beginning and end. So we have 3 messages, and I'm using 0 and 2. That's also why I named the variables the way I did, welcome 0, welcome 1, welcome 2, so that it matches the input that I'm using for randint. And then over here, we will add another coin. So we have a 3-sided coin over here, technically. And the next one will be a 4-sided coin. So randint 0 through 3. And that's 4 because we start at 0, then we go to 1, then we go to 2, then we go to 3, and you count that, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 items. So let's welcome folks to the program. Let's use our conditional statements, our ifs and elifs. Let's put that to the test here. So let's use if, keyword if, followed by the condition. And the condition will be if coin1 is a 0. If coin1 is a 0, let us print welcome 0. There we go. That's it. If we get a 0, print welcome 0. Let's run it, see what happens. Will we get a 0 the first time? Oh, I guess we did. Let's run it again. And nothing. Nothing happened because the randint probably turned into something that was not a 0, and there are no other instructions, so the program ended once it got past line 19. Cool. Awesome. Now let's throw in what happens if we get a 1. If coin1 equals 1, let us print welcome 1. Awesome. And the last part, oh wait, not else. We want to do else if, or elif. There we go. And the last part, this is where we use the else. If we don't get a 0, if we don't get a 1, print welcome 2. So when the program runs, it imports random. Then it creates all of these variables and stores them in memory. It stores something for coin 1 and it stores something for coin 2. We don't know what it is, but it will be between 0 and 2 for coin 1 and 0 and 3 for coin 2. Then the program says, hey, if coin 1 is 0, print welcome 0. it checks. If it isn't a 0, it goes to the next step. Else if coin 1 is 1, print welcome 1. And if that doesn't happen, it will just do the else. It's nice like that. Now, we have our messages. We want to wait for the person using the program to give us input. So we just say input. Let them type in a thing. The computer will wait. And once it gets the input, it will do the next step. And the next step looks a lot like line 19 through 26. If something happens, do something. So if coin 2 now, coin 2 is for our responses. If coin 2 equals 0, let us print response 0. Else if coin 2 equals 1, we print response 1. Else if coin 2 equals 2, what are we going to print? We are going to print response 2. And for the last part, those are 3 responses. We have one more. We just say, hey, if we don't get anything besides a 0, 1, or a 2, do this other thing for us. And that is print response 3. And to make our program a little nice, when it ends, we will say, hey, thanks for playing. Even if we get the snarky attitude by saying, what is it that you want now? We'll just say, hey, thanks, and have a great day. And I'll just do a little bit of formatting there. Did I do that right? \n, or is it /n? Sometimes I forget. We will see when we run the program. So, quick review. We have our comments. Import starter pack. Import random so that we can use random.randint. I stored all of the messages into variables at the top. This actually makes it a little bit easier. If I need to change a message, I don't have to scroll down to find the message that I want to change. I just change it here at the top. It's not that big of a deal for this code. It's 45 lines of code, but once you have 1,000 or 2,000 lines of code and multiple files, it becomes a little cumbersome to have to find the string that you want to change when it's embedded inside of a bunch of code. And then over here, we have our random numbers. So let's call this the random number pack, where coin 1 is a random number chosen between 0 and 2. Coin 2 is a random number chosen between 0 and 3, a random integer to be exact. Now, in our first if block, so this is an entire block of code. If, I wonder if I'm using that right now, or is this the block? For this homework assignment, yeah, we'll consider this a whole block. If coin 1 equals 0, print welcome 0. If it's 1, print welcome 1. If it's 2, print if it's anything other than a 0 and 1, hey, do this thing, print welcome 2. And then we let the person type in stuff. They might ask about GameStop or AMC or anything. And then they give a response. Sorry, we give a response. The program gives a response. If coin 2 is 0, it prints response 0. 1, it prints response 1. If it is 2, it prints response 2. And if it's anything else, it prints response 3. And then the program ends. It says, hey, have a nice day. Let's see this in action. Let's do like semi-split screen. So over here, once the program ran, it already did all of this. It did lines 1 through 18. And we are now at line 21. So it says, what question do you ask of me? Which means that the random number was a 0. And now the program is waiting for us at line 31. What do you ask of me? Is this a YouTube video? When I hit enter, what happens? It says most likely not, which means that the number that was stored was a 1. So that means that in memory, coin 2 was a 1. And that was determined even before I entered my input. So the first thing it did is it went to line 34. Coin 2 has a 1 inside of it. So it said if coin 2 equals 0, print response. Coin 2 is equal to 1. 1 does not equal 0. So it exits this statement. It skips line 35 and it goes to line 37. Else if coin 2 equal 1, print response 1. Coin 2 right now is equal to 1. So therefore it enters into the next line, line 38, and it prints most likely not, because that was the response for response 1. And then because this was satisfied, it skips line 40, it skips line 43, and then it goes right to line 47. Thanks and have a great day. We can even see what was inside of coin 1 and coin 2 by typing it out. We had a 0 and a 1. If we run the program again, it might give us something else. Let's see. What do you need to know? Which means that coin 1 was a 2, which means that in the welcome block that coin 1 is a 2 and 2 doesn't equal 0, so we skip line 21. Coin 1 is a 2. Yeah, I said that right. Coin 1 equals 2. 2 does not equal 1, so we skip line 24. And we go right to the else and print the message that we had in welcome to, which was, what do you need to know? And this time what we need to know is bubble tea awesome? So right now we are at line 31, wait for input. I hit enter and it says, as I see it, yes. I like this program. So as I see it, yes, that is response 0. So that means that coin 2 was equal to 0. So after we entered the input in line 31, the program went down to line 34. If coin 2 equals 0, coin 2 was 0. Therefore, it entered line 35 and it printed, as I see it, yes. And since that was satisfied, it skips the elif on 37. It skips the elif on 40. It skips the else on 43, and it prints, thanks and have a great day. And that is the end of the program. And we can once again check what was in coin 1 and check what was in coin 2. Coin 1 had a 2, coin 2 had a 0. And that is the Magic 8 Ball. I hope you had fun creating the program, and if it was challenging, hopefully seeing the review of the assignment gave you some insight in what you can do for using if and elif statements more effectively, because you will have to do them for the next assignment. And all of these items build on one another. You are going to be using if and elif and else statements for like the rest of your programming career. You will be using variables for the rest of your program career. You will be using import for the rest of your programming career. You get the idea here. So thanks for reviewing. I hope you had fun and that you are working on the next assignment, and that you don't forget your ABCs. That's always be coding. And if you ever need help, reach out to your TA and your instructor. And yeah, we're here for you. All right, peace out.